Northeast Alternatives presents 13 Folds Live on Lemonadio.com. Sponsored by Solar Therapeutics, Kind Card, Wonderland Smoke Shop, and Northeast Alternatives, the most awarded dispensary in New England. Featuring Dave Death, Jess Salemi, and Eddie Bills, with special guest Kristian Montgomery of the Winterkill Band. And now, here's David.
Welcome back, everybody, to another installment of 13 Folds Live from the Parlour. We have Kristian Montgomery of the Winterkill Band. Well, actually, it's Kristian Montgomery and the Winterkill Band, but we are here with Kristian, the front man, the big guy of all of this. Thank you for coming on tonight, Kristian.
No problem.
Before we get started, I just want to give a shout out once again to our premier sponsor, Northeast Alternatives, the most awarded dispensary in New England. Thank you guys for everything you do. And our supporting sponsors, Wonderland Smoke Shop, Solar Therapeutics, and Kind Card. Thank you guys for helping out and making all of this happen. If you're not already, go to YouTube and subscribe to 13 Folds Live. Check us out on Facebook and like us, and Instagram, whatever social media you have. Look up 13 Folds Magazine and 13 Folds Radio, and you will find us. Issue 26 of 13 Folds Magazine is officially done. We blew through all those magazines. I did a reprint, and we blew through all of those. So pretty much the only place you're going to find those right now is going to be at our sponsors, and you're going to have to go there. Hopefully they still have some over at Solar Therapeutics in Somerset, Mass. Or check out Wonderland Smoke Shop in Warwick, Rhode Island, or go to Fall River and check out Northeast Alternatives. They might be out, though. I actually asked them a week ago if they had any, because I was going to grab them for the show. And
yeah, so
they were like,
why don't
we only
you
have 10.
You should just be making them all the time and just
costs
dropping them off.
Costs money. We need more sponsors. We need more sponsors. If you're
We do need
listening
more
and you
sponsors.
have money, come down to the Parlour and slip it in our tip jar. You know, we can pay some of these guys today.
We can work out a deal. I promise we can work a deal out.
We will work for drinks.
We do work for drinks. Yeah.
Yes, we do. So other than that, you're going to need to visit 13folds.com online and check out the digital edition, which we haven't put this one up yet, but it will be up in the next week. But you can check out our old magazines, and even some of the originals are out there, which you can't even find those in print anymore. So, yeah, go online, give us some love, get the magazine, do your thing. Don't forget, we are officially open with limited seating down here at the Parlour.
You have to DM the Parlour for reservations to come to our shows now on Tuesday nights.
Because we don't want to hang out with just anybody, only
No,
very important
we're gonna
people.
pick you out of like a hat.
So yeah, come down here if you can. You know, give us a call at the Parlour. What's the number down here? I don't even know what the number at the Parlour is.
I'm just telling people to DM the Parlour.
Yeah, what's the number, Greg? You got a phone down here?
You got a phone number or what? 401-383. 5858.
And tell them you want to reserve a space to come hang out with 13 Folds and watch Kristian Montgomery tonight. And then we can pound a few afterwards when we're done.
I mean, there's nothing better than having an audience cheering on our stage acts, you know? They love it.
Speaking of audiences, this weekend, if this weekend was any indication of what this year is going to be, it's going to be off the hook, because Friday was insane. We had 150 people out at platforms on Friday night to watch Animal Face, Gregory, our sound guy's own band.
Gregory the sound guy? How about Gregory
the
owner of the Parlour?
owner of the Parlour, and our sound guy tonight. He does it all. He even gives back massages. Sometimes he'll walk through the audience and just rub your back if there's no problems with the sound.
Anyways. So, what else did we do this weekend, Dave?
So we had a farmers market out in Auburn, Mass, a 13-fold style farmers market. That was Saturday from 2 to 8. And you know, we had quite a few people through there. Everybody had fun.
And that was called the May Days?
That was May Days, and there's going to be another one coming up, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
And then Sunday we had our Fiesta dinner, and
that was off the hook.
That was awesome.
I never ran so much serving people food. I haven't served people food in like 20 years.
You busted everybody busted their ass. 13 Folds
I mean, even
team.
Eric was making up that guacamole like it was nothing.
I got a blister cutting chicken.
Dude, that guacamole you made was
It was
bomb.
fire. It was fire.
So yeah, guys, go to the 13 Folds magazine Facebook page. We post all of the shows that we're going to be at or that we're throwing on there. A lot of them are private that you got to RSVP because it's limited space at a lot of our events. So DM us if you want to know any information about any of the events you see on there that are going on, and we will give you all the details and get you in there. Coming up, though, what do we have? This weekend is May 28th. We have, I think it's part 3 of the Manifest Entertainment Summer Tour. That's coming up. It's going to be at Platforms.
Right. So, so they have like Living Light, Josh Teed, Cosmo, and Eyeless. Living Light, I think, is supposed to be like a really premier act.
Well, it's going to, I think Eyeless is doing 2 sets too. And it's going to, the shows that are going on at Platforms, they're fun. Go out there. It's outdoors, so you get to enjoy the weather. And
It's going to rain Friday night.
And if it rains, we'll have a tent. So June 5th, Black Sheep Entertainment, Brawlers Inc., and 13 Folds are bringing you Smoked Up Part 1, featuring Joint Damage, Travesty, Warak, and more. DM us on 13 Folds Magazine's Facebook page if you're interested in going there. That's a private venue, private event. You got to purchase tickets first, and we'll let you know how to go about getting that. Then June 12th, another show at Platforms. Stone Road Band will be with the Sugar Cones, and They Were Robots. And that's, once again, June 12th. What is that, a Friday or?
It's a Saturday.
That's a Saturday.
It's a Saturday, right? And from the feedback that I've gotten so far from the show's going to be pretty packed. I actually had somebody hit me up that wants to do an acoustic act in between sets, just to do it, just to be there.
Well, it's going to be packed with surprises. Packed with surprises.
Yeah.
June 19th, Cannabros and 13 Folds are getting together again to present the Summer Haze Canna Rally and Art Festival. Once again, go check us out on Facebook. We'll give you all the details for that. Then June 26th, Black Sheep Entertainment and 13 Folds are teaming up again for Beachstalk Part 2 at the Hills Tavern in Chepachet, Rhode Island. The doors open up at 1. There's 2 stages at that one, and they're featuring 311 tribute band, all mixed up, Frantic Endeavor, and From the Pub to the Graveyards on that bill, Cosmic Factory, and a full day of music and fun, playing indoors and outdoors. You don't want to miss that. July 10th, we also have another Canna Brothers 13 Folds adventure for you guys. It's a Freedom Sesh cannabis rally that's going to be going off in Auburn, Maine. We're going to have music, vendors, food, and more at that one.
Yep, and you'll be at that one.
I will definitely be at that one.
You'll be at that one, and then
Auburn, Mass, right?
Auburn,
Auburn,
Mass.
Mass.
Yeah, not Maine.
Did I say Maine?
You did.
Oh, my God.
You did.
We need to do a show in Auburn, Maine then, I guess. That's God telling me.
So you'll be at that show, and
Yes.
then I also have a show. We also have a show July 10th.
Same day.
Same day.
In Providence.
In Providence at Platforms with Nate Colazzolino and the Lost Arts.
Nate Colazzolino?
Nate Colazzolino.
Colazzolino is the giant version of Nate.
I make my own syllables, apparently. And then Beetle Funk and Electric Paisan.
See, I kind of want to, I think I might be able to make it in time to see Nate and Beetle Funk because the other one's 2 to 8. So I might be able to get up there in time.
Well, yeah, because, the show starts, the doors open at 8 at Platforms. So 9 o'clock is when we'll start.
Because I'm curious to see what Beetle Funk sounds like.
Me too. I've never heard them.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Because we were going to do Beetle Jazz, and then when I told him that we were going to have Nate Colazzolino and the Lost Arts, he was like, oh, let's do it the funk. I'm like, okay.
You funk it
Sounds
up,
good to
jazz
me.
it up, do what you got to do. We got a bunch more shows coming up as well. We're going to be, I don't know, we'll be announcing more. We got a lot going on with Black Sheep Entertainment. We got a lot going on here at the Parlour now that things are open. Things are going to start, things are going to start popping off real fast around here. We got shows going in Auburn that we're going to be announcing. We got shows out in Rehoboth that we're going to be announcing. So keep in touch.
Right. I mean, not only that, though, like, what's going on in Spencer, Mass?
Spencer, Mass, Terptown's coming up. I believe that's in August 20th and 21st. We will be broadcasting live from there the entire festival, 2 days, 13 Folds in Terptown. And
Terptown Throwdown.
They have an amazing lineup for that. We will also be at the Harvest Cup in Worcester broadcasting live in November.
Okay.
We have a complete...
That's my first of me hearing about that one, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we have a complete set of bookings of at least 10 shows a month that we're either at or we are running.
And let's not forget about September. What do we have going on in September?
We have... do we want to announce that?
Why not? I've already announced it on Facebook and Instagram.
So we have Schism coming in September, the Tool tribute band. They're awesome.
Nationally
Amazing.
known.
I've seen
ready
them,
to play.
I've seen them a bunch, and so I guess you did release that info
We did.
today?
I've already released it. Yeah.
All right, awesome. So yeah, and you can pre-purchase tickets for that show as well. But like I said, we got a bunch going on. We'll announce them as they come. But in the meantime, what I would like to do is introduce our friend and guest, Kristian Montgomery. I didn't screw that name up.
You did, and you did a great
So
job.
that's
Proud
like-
of you.
That's, I think, 4 names that I haven't screwed up since
Is it
we started this
only 4?
show a
Is
year
it only
ago.
4? It's not the.
And I knew half of the people.
It's not the names that you screw up. It's the bands that you screw up.
Well, you know what? Actually, you can't win them. Sometimes you eat the bar, sometimes the bar eats you.
Yeah.
So-
happens. Whatever.
So what we're going to do, guys, is let's go out in some music by Kristian Montgomery, and then we'll come back in after some words from our sponsors. You're listening to 13 Folds live on Lemonadio.com.
I got something to say. It's always been important, but I choose today. No, it's something that you ought to know. The day after I met you, I shouldn't let you go. Never got to ask you why. Not the type of under-average guy that you seem to attract these days. Nothing like your father, and I'm not so set in my ways. There's a place in my heart for girls that fall apart. There's a place in my heart for girls that fall apart. Friends told me that I should run, but you look like so much fun. You know, I heard that you've been married twice. Now you're in his backseat on a Friday night. There's a place in my heart for girls that fall apart. There's a place in my heart There's a place in my heart for girls that fall apart. There's a place in my heart, yeah, for girls that fall apart. There's a place in my heart for girls that fall apart.
Thanks, all. There's a little Texarkana love song here.
So walking down the road while I wet my lips down in Mexico. Well, I found a place I can call home. She said she's senorita sweet, and she's here to knock me off my feet. Well, before I'm done, I never want to leave. She had fruit so sweet, but think twice before you bite into that peach. She had fruit so sweet, but think twice before you bite into that peach. I never spent a lonely night, and she did things that I can't describe. Well, if I die, I'll leave satisfied. She had fruit so sweet, but think twice before you bite into that peach. She had fruit so sweet, but think twice before you bite into that peach. 'Cause somewhere along the way, the hours turned into days. The visions that I've seen in my life. She had fruit so sweet, but think twice before you bite into that peach. She had fruit so sweet, but think twice before you bite into that peach. She's somewhere.
Yeah. Thanks, folks.
I got the call that she was all alone, but she don't like to use the telephone. I thought that the time might be right. She said that she would let me in, but hands off till she puts a ring on it. Then went on off to read her Bible. She said, times like these, you gotta leave the world behind. Well, I'll be fine. I said, baby, why you make me wait? We should never hesitate. Then she walked away, just smiling. I said, your daddy will never know. I'll be gone before the cock crows and make my escape out of your window. I said, times like these, you gotta make it last all night. I'll be fine. All this time I've been waiting. How long will I hang around? Baby, I've been patient. You ain't the only girl in town. So let's mess around. Well, the moral of the story goes, don't wait till you're gray and old. You find yourself back at the beginning. The flesh is weak, but the spirit's strong. She'll hold out till the break of dawn. She's keeping all of her secrets. Times like these, you gotta wait until it's right. Yeah. Thanks, folks.
Northeast Alternatives is Massachusetts' most awarded medical and adult use dispensary, located in Fall River, Mass. Now serving adults 21 plus from all states with a valid ID. Visit their shop at 999 William S. Canning Boulevard, Fall River, Mass. Or visit their website at anyalternatives.com to see their full menu. We'd like to tell you about one of our sponsors, Kind Card, the kinder way to shop. Kind Card replaces cash and conventional credit cards anywhere it's accepted. Dispensaries and cannabis-related merchants can join those around the country, and then they receive their U.S.-based checking account. And it only takes a second for you as a merchant to join their Kind Card program right from your point of sale.
Unlike credit cards, which take days to clear, Kind Card funds are deposited directly into your checking account.
Visit kindcard.com to learn more about this revolutionary program and become a consumer or a merchant today.
Solar Therapeutics, America's first energy-independent cannabis cultivation and retail facility based in Somerset, Mass., is the state's premier adult-use marijuana supplier. Unlike any cannabis manufacturing facility in the country, Solar's production architecture is centered around its innovative design that utilizes green infrastructure and microgrid assets to decrease its overall carbon emissions. These green concepts enable Solar to produce sustainable cannabis both by lowering its overall energy profile as well as by generating all of its own clean power.
To learn more about solar or order products online, visit solarthera.com.
Wonderland Smoke Shop carries all of your e-cig, hookah, and tobacco products as well as an assortment of imported and fine cigars. There is also a vast selection of rigs, mods, and glass for the connoisseur. Wonderland is a great smoke shop for all of your needs. With great prices, great service, and family atmosphere. From special orders to new products, their honest and trustworthy staff will exceed all your expectations. Visit Wonderland Smoke Shop in Warwick, Rhode Island at 666 East Ave. Don't forget to follow them on Facebook and tell them 13 Fold sent you.
Lemonadio.
Did you ever hear of anyone smoking dried mushrooms? What? Oh, nothing. Skip it.
Providing relief from dry mouth since 2020.
Tell me who it is, damn it. You got 5 seconds to tell me who the hell this is.
Lemonadio.
Welcome back to 13 Folds, live from from the parlor. Whoa.
What are you doing?
I got to screw one of these things up. Hey, I got, flashbacks from all the mushrooms on Friday.
From the parlor.
Live from the parlor. Yes, all right, I screwed that up. Anyways, I owe Greg a drink.
Yeah.
I owe Gregory a drink on that
And a
one.
hug.
So you're listening to us live, unfortunately, on Lemonadio.com, presented by Northeast Alternatives and sponsored by Wonderland Smoke Shop, Solar Therapeutics, and Kind Card. Thank you guys for making all of this happen. Like I said, go subscribe to 13 Folds Live now. Do it now. Do it now on YouTube. And you can go watch us on the Parlour Providence on Twitch,
On their live stream
Facebook.
too.
Yep,
Facebook,
you can watch us
Twitch.
there.
And then we have, ours also.
Yeah.
YouTube.
And YouTube. And I believe if you go to the Parlour's Facebook page, you should be able to donate and, donate, contribute, or call it a virtual. It's a virtual cover charge because everybody's still scared to go out and know a lot of people haven't gotten vaccinated yet. And, most of us have. So I don't know what's wrong with you. Get it together so we can all hang out in the same room with each other.
We shouldn't put pressure.
We shouldn't, but
we
I
should
do.
not pressure anyone.
I'm
to
a
do
pressure-eating type of person. I'm gonna go out with my needle.
Oh my God!
Actually,
oh my
that's
God!
it.
Can we
Yeah,
just
all right.
can we introduce Kristian Montgomery, please?
Anyways, we have Kristian Montgomery here. Welcome to the show, Kristian. Thank you for joining us tonight, man.
Thanks a lot for having me.
I know I'm kind of glad that we just ended up with you and not the whole band tonight, because when I was reading your bio and researching you, like, there's so much to talk about.
You have a lot going on.
Yeah.
A lot going on.
Been around.
Yeah, apparently.
And where most people kind of took a break through COVID or just slowed down, you've been busy. I mean, tell me, what have you been up to?
Recorded, released Prince of Poverty back in May. That was my second album. And we're following it up with a third. So in the COVID years so far, I completed The Gravel Church, which was 16 songs. And then Prince of Poverty was 10. And the next one, which is called The Heaven for Heretics, is going to be 10 songs.
So you've been busy.
36 songs in 2-something years, yeah.
Now let me just ask one question. How long have you been with the Winterkill band?
This has been 3 years.
3 years.
Started
okay.
with the Gravel Church. I've played with numerous amounts of different bands throughout the years.
So how much input did they have? Like, so you write? Do you write all the music? Write all the songs yourself,
Yeah.
and then you just have them help you with the melodies and all that, or give me a little.
The Gravel Church started with me walking in with an acoustic and a vocal mic and bashing out 16 songs.
Okay.
I gave those 16 songs to just a bunch of friends and said, if you hear anything, throw something down. And it was kind of this hodgepodge of different artists coming in, and I can't even name them all in Gravel Church. There was so many. But then Prince of Poverty, we started whittling it down to 5 guys, including myself. And that became kind of more of a fine-tuning, kind of the sound that I wanted to present to people. And my ego wants me to say it was all me. But frankly, Joe Clapp.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, Joe and Dave Leach, my bass player, and Jeff Armstrong from the Delta Generators, who played drums, just came in and totally made it their own too. So it was,
It's a group effort.
It was a group effort. I mean, I came in, I wrote these songs, arranged them, and then said, "Have at it, boys." And
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, though, right?
See,
I mean, it definitely is. It's like Christmas every email. When I get another email from somebody saying, "Hey, I recorded this. What do you think?" And the back and forth has been a camaraderie that I've never felt. Not since like Cub Scouts.
Because it's different now too. Because with COVID and everything, you are doing it mostly through email and mostly through this because you guys really can't get together. I mean, now you can, but before you couldn't.
Right. Yeah. It's been it's slowly, like Jeff from the Delta Generators has come into the studio, and we've got him blocked off in this medical room.
Bubble.
Where he's quarantined.
COVID-free bubble.
Because drummers, you actually need more time to actually like sterilize the room after a drummer's been in there,
of course,
because they're dirty creatures.
They are.
Oh, no.
Horrible, dirty creatures. I hope you're listening, Nick.
But my bass player Dave, he's up in Littleton, Mass, and he's recorded all of his stuff. He has a studio up there called the El Toro Lounge. So he has recorded up there in his little Tex-Mex, kitchen, and I'm glad he stayed there and recorded there, because it was probably some pretty disgusting aftermath going on. So it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I always felt like it's difficult to let your baby go into somebody's arms and let them have the input. And I always do feel like it's a better end project when you do let everybody else have their fun. Because, I mean, it is fun composing and building songs. And so that's the thing that I always find that, it works differently for different people. And it sounds like for you, you're actually really willing to let those guys have fun with it, and it shows from your music, like the benefit of having everybody's input and what you're building. It's not just a one-man show, and I commend that, especially when it's your stuff that you're starting off with, and giving up that control for it. So
there's a lot of it's easy to trust these guys. I mean,
and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
But it's also one of the things too. If I'm right, where you can do these songs with a band or without a band, right? Mm-hmm. You can do it acoustic, or you can do it with a big live band.
Oh yeah.
You could do it in a boat with a goat.
On a boat. But yeah, no, that's great.
So now you're from Florida, right?
That's where I was born.
All right. Now, what part?
Jupiter.
Oh, so you were born out in Jupiter. Oh man, what was the beach in Jupiter? Was that where Du Bois Park? Isn't that in Jupiter, or is it?
No. Unless the name has changed. There's the beach right next to the Jupiter Inlet.
Okay, that's I think is Du Bois Park.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
maybe it's not that anymore. I'm talking years ago when we used to go there.
Yeah, it's that inlet right there. Is the greatest fishing story that I have ever seen. I met a guy there when I was a kid, and he looked like something out of a Mark Twain novel. He had the curly hair with the straw hat. He had these guns and very, very thick Haitian accent. And he had this big tuna fishing rig, and I was like, dude, what are you doing with that? You're not going to be able to cast. And he goes, watch this. He tied a piece of line from the steel leader to a Lifesavers candy. And then the other side of the candy to he blew up a balloon and tied it off. And he throws it out into the water, and the current from the Jupiter Inlet takes it out.
Yeah.
And he asked me, he goes, how long does it take you to eat a Lifesaver candy? And I was like, I don't know, like 5 minutes. He goes, 5 minutes or about 200 yards. The 90-degree water melted the Lifesaver. Balloon takes off flying. All of a sudden, this guy was pulling in these black-tip sharks, and I guess they taste just like swordfish.
Yeah.
And out of the blue, Burt Reynolds came down and bought shark from him and was like, dude, Burt buys all of his shark from me, and it's all tax-free. That dude became like my second dad. I mean,
That's awesome.
I was hanging out with him every weekend.
Did you meet Burt Reynolds?
I did. I got to meet him. Got to
All
meet
right.
him and Perry Como, a bunch of other dudes who Dom DeLuise bought all his shark from him.
Dom
too.
DeLuise.
That
All
was
right.
It was a pretty cool spot, you know.
So now, did you grew up in Jupiter then? And
No, I grew up back and forth. I moved to Hanover, Mass.
Okay.
That's where my mom's from. And left Dad behind down there. And I mean, he was up here for a little while in New England. He was a fisherman.
Yeah.
But, he was a woman at every port. So,
Yeah, well,
So
that's the
didn't-
fisherman thing, apparently.
it didn't work out for him, so.
So when you were down in Florida, you got into music down there first, if I'm correct.
Well, no, actually, it was up here in New England where I moved in with my grandparents for a while. We were kind of poor, and my mom being a single mom, so we had to kind of put roots down with Gramps and Grandma. And my grandmother had this god-awful voice. She sounded like Ethel Merman. And I learned at a very young age that if I didn't want everybody staring at me because of her, I had to sing louder than her so no one would hear her. And my reverend was a former tenor with the Boston Pops, and he heard me. And, he offered to give me free vocal lessons and then introduced me to the Beatles and to Led Zeppelin. And
Nice.
That's kind of where my
So that's where your roots
fall
are,
from
really,
grace happened.
right?
Yeah.
That's where your music comes from, and all everything comes from Led Zeppelin and the Beatles, and.
From pretty much anything I could get my hands on. I remember, going to like swap shops and stuff like that to pick up whatever I could as far as music. I remember picking up my first Johnny Cash album and was like, that
Must have been amazing.
And it was an album, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, my first concert ever. Well, back to back, my first two concerts were Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin Brothers.
All right.
Okay.
And then my second one was Anthrax and Ozzy at Worcester Central. So I kind of developed this library of all sorts of different music. And
Nice.
you know, it's helped me along the way, kind of refine where I'm going.
So now you did get involved with the choir at the church.
I did.
So how long did you do that for?
Gosh, maybe like only a couple years. I remember, I can't really remember her name, but I had to do a solo and I had to sing the Lord's Prayer, and I finished singing it, and I want to say her last name was Sejnowitz, but she was just staring at me like afterwards, and I was like, okay, I'm on to something here.
Nice.
And that went from there to, hey, I'm playing at the Shanty Rose in Plymouth this weekend. You know, you guys should stop by and, you know, be in.
I feel like I know that name. The
It's a
Shanty
cool,
Rose.
it's a cool little pub down in Plymouth.
All right.
Yeah, very good place. And you know, started playing at some of those bars. This place called the Ranch House down in Marshfield, where they actually had a chicken wire cage in front of the stage.
Like the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, it was a really cool place. And
But
then,
wasn't there like the what was that other movie?
I don't know. The only one I remember is the
Through the
Blues
glass,
Brothers. That's the Blues Brothers.
No,
Yeah.
the Roadhouse.
Don't talk to me about Patrick Swayze. You know how I feel.
I remember
Sorry.
the first show that my grandmother ever decided to come to was at the Ranch House in Marshfield, and there had been a murder there 2 days before, and the tape where the body was still there, and she had to be in her 70s at the time. So
How did she feel about that?
I'm sure that after it was all said and done, she went home and told everybody what a badass her grandson was. But, I mean, but
How did she feel at the moment?
yeah, I'm sure she was pretty terrified. You know, but we had a great time growing up in that area, and a lot of good musicians, and there was a lot of good friends coming out to hang out, watch you play.
That's
Now,
awesome.
Were your parents supportive of this? I know. I mean, obviously your grandmother was, but how about your actual parents?
Yeah, my mom was pretty cool with it. My dad kind of his family's originally from Copenhagen, Denmark.
Okay.
So he kind of split back there, and I didn't see him till later on in life, and it was kind of cool. I was nominated for like the Boston Music Awards, and I ran into him down in Florida, and I was like,
awesome.
hey, yeah, I'm nominated for the Music Awards this year, and what are you doing? And he was like, I'm still fishing. I was like,
Nothing wrong with
good
that.
good thing I took this path, huh? But
So what song do you have prepared for us next?
this song is called "That Bird Won't Fly."
Now, is there a story behind this one?
There is a story behind this one. I had done a small stint in jail.
And we'll talk about that later, definitely.
Yeah, and
We have to bring it up.
it was involving my ex-wife. And
But that's okay. Let's talk about the song.
The song, yeah. But this song is about my current wife, who, you know, got remarried, and that kind of set off a firestorm. You know, getting remarried and then going to jail for 6 months. My wife showed up for every visit, you know, came by, you know, letters every day. Like, I mean, it wasn't a fun time. I mean, granted, you know, other guys spend more time in jail. 6 months is probably nothing to care about for them, but, you know.
But it's not fun.
Yeah, the 6 months, it just sucked. And so, you know, my wife had every reason in the world to take off, fly away, go, you know, start over, and she didn't. And so I sat in my little cubicle and wrote this song about her sticking with me.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
Let's hear it.
If there's a love, she'll be in it. Right or wrong, she's got me singing this song. Maybe you should take a minute before you decide if she'll stay in the night. 'Cause that bird won't fly. That bird won't fly. Yeah, that bird won't fly. That bird won't fly. Yeah. If you make rules, gonna break 'em. You can't decide who she's got on her mind. Baby, you should take a minute, 'cause she's dropping hints of who she wants on her lips. 'Cause that bird won't fly. That bird won't fly. Yeah, that bird won't fly. That bird won't fly. Yeah. There's something about the way she moves the moment you walk in the room. Something about the way she turns your head. Sometimes I think it's make-believe, the way she brings me to my knees. Black magic that I've never felt. There's a place that I go when I fall into dream, where it's still you and me and the memories of the times that passed, that seem to last, where perfect and broken is always the same. I just keep on praying, there's gotta be a reason why that bird won't fly. That bird won't fly. Yeah, that bird won't fly. Bird won't fly. There's something about the way she moves the moment you walk in the room. Something about the way she turns your head. Thanks. That was awesome. Thanks, man. This is called Ain't Got Nobody But Me. And it's about expressing your undying love to somebody who, she gets it, and it's not that big a deal. We threw down in a border town with my 6-string on my back. She played with my affection and the cross around my neck. Well, she candy's sweet, but the devil's deep, and he calls me to her lips. It tastes like Tennessee whiskey and burns like the fires of hell. We've been here before, baby. It's like some sinister spell. I love you more by Sunday, but she says she ain't got nobody but me. There's a place downtown where it's going down, reflected in her face. She drinks like John Belushi, and she pretends that she's on stage. She sings me songs of days long gone and fallen from grace. Demands my attention when I'm buried in her legs. Been here before, baby. Like some sinister spell. I love you more by Sunday. Yes, she says ain't got nobody but me. I wanna feel you wrapped around me. with all the flesh that you can spare. I wanna feel just like we're drowning. I just wanna feel again. I wanna preach to all the pilgrims. I wanna torture them in pairs. I wanna tell them God's been lying. He doesn't care that they are here. I wanna walk into forever and fall asleep inside your heart. I'd wait in purgatory to be in your universe. And then she says, ain't got nobody but me.
Thanks.
She's naked sitting on the porch, the shade under her parasol. At any given time of day, she's knee deep in the Everglades. The bayou gets her what she wants, gator skins and Mardi Gras. And she doesn't feel, and that's a shame. Her kisses taste like lemonade. Anytime or place, she'll be lost in space. Yeah, she's proud and brave. Yeah, she's country made. She got Creole running through her veins. She says she can't predict the rain. She don't plan on getting old. She got a deal at the crossroads. Going down, 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 down. Anytime or place, she'll be lost in space. Yeah, she's proud and brave. Yeah, she's country made. Don't you know, don't you know, don't you know it? Don't you know, don't you know, don't you know? Don't you know, don't you know, don't you know it? You're my secret watering hole. Yeah, that river runs just like you do. Yeah, the river runs just like you always do. Just like you always do. Just like you always do.
Thanks, folks.
Kristian Montgomery, live at the Parlour on Lemonadio.com. Here's some ads, guys. We'll be right back. Stick around.
Northeast Alternatives is Massachusetts' most awarded medical and adult use dispensary, located in Fall River, Mass. Now serving adults 21 plus from all states with a valid ID. Visit their shop at 999 William S. Canning Boulevard, Fall River, Mass. Or visit their website at anyalternatives.com to see their full menu. We'd like to tell you about one of our sponsors, Kind Card, the kinder way to shop. Kind Card replaces cash and conventional credit cards anywhere it's accepted. Dispensaries and cannabis-related merchants can join those around the country, and then they receive their U.S.-based checking account. And it only takes a second for you as a merchant to join their Kind Card program right from your point of sale.
Unlike credit cards, which take days to clear, Kind Card funds are deposited directly into your checking account.
Visit kindcard.com to learn more about this revolutionary program and become a consumer or a merchant today.
Solar Therapeutics, America's first energy-independent cannabis cultivation and retail facility based in Somerset, Mass., is the state's premier adult-use marijuana supplier. Unlike any cannabis manufacturing facility in the country, Solar's production architecture is centered around its innovative design that utilizes green infrastructure and microgrid assets to decrease its overall carbon emissions. These green concepts enable Solar to produce sustainable cannabis both by lowering its overall energy profile as well as by generating all of its own clean power.
To learn more about solar or order products online, visit solarthera.com.
Wonderland Smoke Shop carries all of your e-cig, hookah, and tobacco products as well as an assortment of imported and fine cigars. There is also a vast selection of rigs, mods, and glass for the connoisseur. Wonderland is a great smoke shop for all of your needs. With great prices, great service, and family atmosphere. From special orders to new products, their honest and trustworthy staff will exceed all your expectations. Visit Wonderland Smoke Shop in Warwick, Rhode Island at 666 East Ave. Don't forget to follow them on Facebook and tell them 13 Fold sent you.
Lemonadio.
Did you ever hear of anyone smoking dried mushrooms? What? Oh, nothing. Skip it.
Smoking
Providing
dry
relief from dry mouth since 2020.
Tell me who it is, damn it. You got 5 seconds to tell me who the hell this is.
Lemonadio.
Welcome back to 13 Folds live from the Parlour on Lemonadio.com. Once again, another shout out to our sponsors, Wonderland Smoke Shop, Kind Card, Solar Therapeutics. Thank you guys. And don't forget our premier sponsor, Northeast Alternatives, for putting in the big bucks to make this thing happen. Cha-ching. That's talking to you, Mike.
I just talked to Wonderland. Speaking of Wonderland Smoke Shop,
Yes.
I just talked to Chris and his wife Terry. They're actually giving me a bunch of cuts of lilac bushes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They need to come down to one of these.
They do. I got to get them out here because, like, you know, I used to be really good friends with them back in the day. So, you know, maybe I'll get them out here and, like, to come out here and, like, talk with us.
That'd be awesome. I talk to Chris all the time. I try to
Yeah.
get him to come to the events, set up a booth, do something. But
Yeah,
he just supports us because he loves
They're
what
great.
we do.
They're both of them are great.
He's a great guy. Kristian, awesome set. Like, you're killing it tonight. Are these the same songs that you play with the band, but just the acoustic versions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. So, well, I don't know.
Yeah, I already asked that question.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Maybe you thought you did.
There's a couple of them that you haven't heard yet that are off of the new record, so.
That's
right.
good.
You know.
That's good to know. I like that.
So you were talking about how you were nominated for Best Vocalist. Now, you were doing rock. You were in rock bands back then when you were doing that. Now, is it
Yeah.
rock or more metal? I'm not sure.
Well, it started off as metal, and then kind of toned it down.
So is metal where you wanted to go? I'm sorry if I interrupt you, but that's what I did.
It was
Was metal where you really wanted to focus on when you first started music?
It was at the time, yeah.
Yeah.
So what were the bands that influenced you?
Gosh, I was a huge Saigon Kick guy.
Okay.
King's X. More melodic rock bands. I was a huge fan.
How do you feel about Mastodon?
I can get into that. Yeah.
I like Mastodon.
One of my first shows in Boston, I was 14 years old, and I snuck into a club called Ground Zero that was on Cambridge. Cambridge.
I think I've heard of that before.
And this band called Sleep Chamber, which was playing. Are we allowed to swear?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want.
Sleep Chamber makes Ministry look like a bunch of pussies.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
I went in there, and they had these big vats of like aphrodisiacs that were being lit up like incense and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had porn playing on the screen behind
That was
them.
like Club Hell back in the day.
Yeah.
And I remember going in wearing my cowboy boots and a Don Johnson kind of like Miami Vice jacket, and everybody looked at me like, "Who the hell is this dude?" And I pulled out a Heffenreffer out of my jacket, and they were all like, "Oh, that just must be his thing." And so I kind of, within that crowd of people, I kind of became the weirdo, where everybody was like, "What's up with the white
You're not
t-shirt?
the weirdo at
What's
all.
up with the Eric Clapton look? You're here at this, in the mosh pit and everything, and sleeping in Harvard Square, and so I started busking in those, in that area back when I was a kid too. Playing, playing like Sex Pistols tunes and
Hell yeah.
whatever people would listen to, getting out of the country and into the city as much as I possibly could, to my detriment. But
It's such a different experience, though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It nearly killed me, but I don't regret a minute of it.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, man.
That's right.
So what you're saying is, so he went from metal to rock, then to country?
Yeah, well, I didn't know. That's the thing. He was nominated. All I knew is he was nominated for rock music.
Okay.
But I kind of gathered from talking to him that it was a metal band. And
then
so
switched.
what was the band that you were in when you were nominated?
It was called Bone Dry System.
Oh, okay. So folk rock.
No, it was rock.
He's just coming up with his own name for you. Don't worry about it. Let's
We,
go. We roll with these things.
Yeah, we played it. We toured together for a while. We had a lot of fun. We got nominated in other cities too. For different awards.
Nice.
And over in Europe too. Once I kind of reconnected.
In Europe. So give us a little background on that.
Last year I got nominated for Best Country Artist of the Year in Amsterdam. So,
Okay.
Nice.
Did you go to Amsterdam?
I didn't.
Oh,
They don't
man.
give you an award for winning that one. They just give you like a pound of weed.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you're on your way.
Yeah. A
Oh
pound of,
man.
Yeah, you get a pound of weed and syphilis, and
And syphilis.
No,
Who said that?
syphilis is the runner-up.
But, yeah,
Red light district or blue light district?
my wife and I were in Denmark a few years back.
How was that?
It's the most beautiful country in the world.
It must be.
Most of my family's over there, and we were walking down the street, and we went past the red light district, which my cousin Peter and Biaka call the dirty girls. So you walk past the dirty girl district, and this woman comes up to us and says, "I'll do anything for $100 American in Danish." So I replied to her in Danish, and she smacked me in the arm and kept walking. And my wife April's like, "What did you say?" I'm like, "I asked her if she knew how to clean gutters."
And how do you say that in Danish?
I
Way to
don't
throw
even
him under
wanna-
the
Oh,
bus.
you don't remember now.
I will say when we went through customs, I told my wife, I said, because you're Portuguese and you have that dark skin, you might have a hard time going through customs. So it's very important to say the Danish national slogan when you walk through. And so, I tell her what to say, and she's walking through. Do you have anything to declare? And she says, "Ja älskar Kristian Peak."
Did
Guy
you
goes-
have a hard time? No. Okay.
But
She did not have a
you know,
time.
the guy
I
was
just
like,
asked
the guy
her.
was like, you're a Christian, and I just smiled at him. He goes, so you know, your wife just announced to the entire airport that she loves your private parts. So,
I would totally do that to my husband.
When did you decide to? Well, what made you decide to get out of rock and start doing more of the country rock? What you're doing now?
well, it's really, I don't think on my last record, Prince of Poverty, I have this song called "They'll Remember My Name," which is this real heavy kind of Alice in Chainsy vibe to it, you know. And it's all about, you know, finding the high ground and blowing the head off of some corporate idiot, you know.
Yeah.
And it's the guitar solo is totally still metal. It's, you know, every time my guitar player plays it, I'm like, yeah, like ready.
So it's still in you.
It's still there. And I mean, my love for the blues and country music combined with, you know, I mean, a lot of this new record, I mean, I've been listening to way too much Chuck Berry.
That's not a bad thing.
But, you know, at the same time, I mean, Megadeth is a staple in my library of music.
I think
so,
Rust
Okay.
in Peace
You
is
know.
like the best speed metal album ever made, man.
It's killer.
So when it comes to the blues, what is your favorite blues band? Like, I need to know.
Do you know who Chris Whitley was? Chris Whitley had a.
Don't look at me. I don't know. Who
I
you know.
don't,
I was ready to
actually.
talk about
Well,
Megadeth, and he
well-
went and threw that in there.
Well,
you
he
should
mentioned,
know who the hell
but
you're
he
talking
mentioned
about.
the blues, so I wanted to. But people want to know.
Chris
People want to know.
was he got big for a while. He had this song called "Big Sky Country," which took off. He was on Arsenio Hall and Letterman, and, you know, signed to a huge record deal. And he toured with Tom Petty, opening for him.
Oh, nice.
And I mean, just the way he incorporated the blues into his music wasn't, you know, that straight ahead blues and I mean, it was a beautiful songwriting, passionate experience. Every album that he did. Then Chris, you know, his style of songwriting it kind of went off on this really weird acid rock tangent. The label dropped him. He was on, you know, he got addicted to heroin. His daughter Trixie was born, and he got off drugs, and then died of cancer a year later. So I mean, it's
why I stay
a
on
very
drugs.
tragic story.
Well,
but,
you know, you need to stay on drugs.
but
I have to say.
you know, he's one of those artists that back when things started to become very structured as far as songwriting was concerned, and there became almost like an algorithm, like how the Red Sox won the World Series. You know, it's like, you know, everything became so, you know, drawn out for us, and this is how we have to do it to write a hit. He was just still playing exactly what was in his heart. And he would tell people, he'd say, listen, you know, this isn't about how you feel, it's about how it makes me feel.
Right.
And
So,
if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't.
so besides Burt Reynolds, have you met anybody else
Famous?
famous? Yeah.
Well, my high school girlfriend's dad was the drummer of Aerosmith.
Okay. Okay.
I took his daughter Asia to the prom, and but let me tell you, dude watched me like a hawk. I was never allowed, never allowed to be anywhere
Yeah, it's like
alone.
you have like this big guy just following you
know,
around.
He was just like a normal dad. You know, it was like he was listening for zippers the whole time I was in the house. So I mean,
The bedroom door was not allowed to stay closed.
No, and I was, you know, after dinner I was asked to go home. So, but
Finish chewing. It's time to
Yeah,
leave.
right.
Are you done with your dessert? Are you done with your dessert? Because you need to leave now.
But, you know, other than that, speaking of watching like a hawk, I got to meet Hawk from Spencer for Hire when I was a
Okay.
kid.
Yeah.
I shared an airplane ride with him to Jersey once. And,
Nice. I used to love that show. That would I would stay up late at night as a kid just to watch Spencer for Hire when it came on.
It was cool. It was like a random thing. Like I was in New York once and shared a cab with Joan Baez, and it was like
Okay. Oh my God. Joan Baez.
It wasn't until I was you know, we agreed to split the cab. I was like, wait a sec, you're Joan Baez, and she was like, yeah, and you are. I'm like, not Joan Baez. You know, nobody interested.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
She's incredible.
Oh, she's such a sweet lady too. I mean, just really, really cool. Nice to be around.
Yeah, definitely.
She didn't walk around in her like nightie or anything like that, did she?
They were in a taxi. They were in a taxi.
We were in a
She was
cab.
Oh, I
fully
thought you
clothed.
said sharing a
We were in a
cabin,
cab.
not a cab.
Cab.
All right.
Cab.
Down in
not
the villages.
cabin.
My mind's in the gutter. I'm sorry.
My God.
She wasn't wearing her nightie in the
no,
cab?
not in the cab.
Ugh, she's such a prude.
My God.
So when you got out of the rock scene, I mean, did you go on a hiatus, or did you just kind of keep doing music the whole time, or?
No, like life happened. My pop, who, my granddad was like my best bud. He got sick right after the music awards, and I moved out of Boston and came home and took care of him until he died. And then my first.
And when you say home, you mean back to Florida, right?
No, back in Hanover, in the South Shore.
Oh, okay.
You know, the grandparents are here in Hanover.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
Where
know.
he was born was in Florida.
Where you're born is home.
Well, not really for him, though.
Well, maybe.
I-
All right. Anyways, we're gonna have a fight
Yeah.
here. Man.
We're gonna
But-
start fighting
We're gonna
because
have to go
I'm
on a
listening
break.
and he's not.
But he actually he was called. It was a Thanksgiving thing. He called me up and he was like, "I'm in the hospital. They don't think I'm gonna make it." He was like 74 at the time, and he had a rough life in the trades and the Navy and all sorts of stuff. But I moved home, took care of him for 2 months till he passed, and then.
That was really good of you.
Yeah, I mean, he was my bud. He
And
was
it's one
such
of those
pain.
things like it's.
My buddy Josh knows this girl. So this girl was my pop's nurse. Her name was Amy Monroe. She was like the prom queen of the high
Shout
school.
out to Amy Monroe.
Prom queen of the high school, drop dead gorgeous. So my grandfather, of course, I have to say, "Hey, Pa, that's Amy Monroe. She was the prom queen in high school. Never gave."
And that was his nurse?
That was his nurse.
Oh,
and I said,
wonderful.
"Never gave me the time of day." And he just laughs at me, and she walks back in the room. He goes, "Hey, my son said you went to school together." She goes, "Yeah." Said you never gave him the time of day, but he's pretty sure he can screw you now. And I just went, "I didn't say that. I did not say that." And she looked at me like, "Oh man, like what a I'm
Gotta
like,
live it up for the
But it was
for pops,
that's how
man.
my pop was. I mean, he was just such a prick, and he took every opportunity to make fun of me. That's why, like, regardless of how many times I screw up on the guitar tonight, I'm like, hey, it's not as bad as what he's done to me. So.
I don't think you've screwed up at all.
Dude, it was a 50-50
You're
chance,
doing
though,
great.
that could have gone the other way.
Yeah.
Your grandfather was just trying to help you out.
Yeah, maybe.
Could have actually hooked it up. I mean, but
Nah,
back in the day.
So,
right?
so when did you go to Nicaragua? Because I was checking that out, and that's a very interesting story.
That was a lot of fun. I remember flying in with my buddy Rocky, who his name's Roberto Telleria, and he was my bass player at the time in one of my many solo projects. And so we flew in to do. We played on like their version of MTV, and went over to Nicolas Cage's place over in Costa Rica and stuff. And
Did you meet Nicolas
Nick
Cage?
Cage.
yeah, got to
You
meet
did.
Nick.
You
Yeah,
got to meet
it's
Nick
cool.
Cage.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I asked you, who did you meet that was famous?
Yeah, but I
you
didn't
did not
really-
bring up Nick
But
Cage.
nobody brings
I
up
didn't
Nick
really get
Cage.
to talk to him. Like it was really more of a, oh hey, you're Nick Cage, I'm Kristian Montgomery.
You have no
I'm
idea how
Nick
many of my
Cage.
friends.
Yep.
We've had Nick Cage parties. Okay.
That's high
Dress up.
praise.
Vampire's Kiss is one of my favorite
Oh
movies.
no,
And
Arizona. Raising
No, no, no.
Arizona is my favorite.
I can do the best impersonation of him when in that movie. He goes, "You're breaking up with me after I sucked that broad bone dry." Like that was one of the best movies of all time.
Raising Arizona is my favorite. I'm sorry. I will go to the grave with
Nick
knowing
Cage
Raising
is one of
Arizona
those
is my favorite.
people that I feel like is a horrible actor, but his movies are all great. I love all of his movies.
What's the
But
other
he's
one?
always the same dude in them.
My wife's womb is a barren place where my seed can find no purchase.
Oh my God. I really wish Shavoni was here right now.
He'd probably jump up on stage.
Shavoni would be on stage with you right now.
In Nicaragua, we my buddy says, hey, we fly in a little faster because they still shoot at the planes when,
Oh, wow.
from the mountains. I mean, this is right after they started to kind of develop democracy, a little bit more. And we played at a club called El Guasimo, which I think is translated to the Garden of Booze, and played on their television station, and it was kind of funny. Like, he's very, he's a lot shorter than me, but I'm a really tall guy.
Yeah.
And we were both wearing leather pants, flying into Managua, getting off the plane.
Leather pants.
And everybody was like,
Okay.
who are these guys?
Who are these rock stars?
They got out, were asking us for autographs, and we took off to the beaches. And I mean, it was honestly one of the most beautiful places. And the food was phenomenal.
I bet it is.
The ceviche, and I spent a good 48 hours driving around the countryside through the volcanoes looking for a little bar so I could say "Dos cerveza, por favor" to a guy named Jefe. It was a lot of fun. But Mick Jagger's wife, Bianca, had a studio there too. We got to stop by.
Oh, that's
Did you
cool.
meet her?
No, I didn't get to
Did you meet
her.
Mick Jagger?
No, I didn't meet
What
Mick
the
Jagger.
hell, man?
No, but he was there once.
I mean, that guy's gonna live till he's 300, but
He's still having kids and stuff. It's
Still, what is he 100 already?
It's nuts.
So now Nicaragua was still in kind of a state of turmoil at that point in time, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I've got pictures of me with dueling AK-47s sitting on park
Did you
benches.
take him from the cops?
No. It was given to me when we got off the plane.
Oh, okay.
They were for my stage
They're
performance.
like, hey, you need to hold on to these because you might need them.
Well, no, every song in Nicaragua, it's customary that you fire your AK-47s into the air.
I'm
in
behind.
celebration.
Apparently, I'm
never-
behind on the
Will
times.
you Wikipedia shit before we go on stage, please?
We never fired them, but we did have them, and it was just cool to have them. It was like,
Yeah. I get
it's-
pictures of
we
them.
got. I mean, that's as close as I think I've ever gotten to be a real cowboy. It was cool.
In Nicaragua,
You know?
I'm a cowboy.
It was,
I feel Eddie Bills is ready to.
I
chime
actually
in
want to
on
know more about did you have to put a deposit down on your AK-47s, or they just gave it to you? They
were family owned. They were family owned. It was my friend's dad's. And I realized very quickly, and when they told me the most important word you can learn in Spanish is, eh? Because people would ask me something, or and I just, eh? And that was enough, for them. They'd be like, oh, okay, yeah.
Isn't that what Speedy Gonzalez used to say? Eh?
No, he used to say Arriva.
Arriba.
I don't know.
But no, he said it. That too.
All right. Well, maybe he did.
So, anyways,
After Nicaragua, it was after Nicaragua you went back to Denmark, right?
Yeah, well, off and on throughout my life, I've gone back. It's gosh, the last time my wife April and I were there, we saw the band Y&T. You remember them?
No.
From back in the '80s, they had that song "Summertime Girls." Yeah.
Okay.
We walked into this place called the Pump House in downtown Copenhagen.
Oh, we have Pump House here too.
We had lunch with the guitar player and his wife. The only person who's still alive is the singer, who's 70-something years old. And I said to her, I'm like, gosh, if we went down to the Narrows in Fall River or something, or to see this band, they'd probably be playing for 50 people.
Yeah.
It was sold out. 500 people, 6-foot-tall Danes, all bouncing in tandem. And the singer was just like, I can't. The guy was having so much fun. There's people in the back going, yelling out songs. Don't be afraid of the dark. And he's like, yes, yes. And we'd play it, and we had such a good time. I mean,
all my musician friends say that. When they go to Europe, it's just such a different music scene.
Europe's beautiful.
Yeah.
The music scene, I went to Florence, Italy, and I'm gonna tell you right now, when I was in Florence, the busking and the people just setting up everywhere and just playing music is just incredible.
It's a very musical culture. I mean, thousands and thousands of years from that side of the world of different cultures with
and just
different
singing about
instruments
anything.
Yeah.
Singing about anything.
It's pretty cool. I remember walking down the pedestrian roads with my guitar, and I felt like, the guy who played fiddle and got all the rats to follow him. It was like
the Pied Piper.
I mean, the Pied Piper. I mean,
Fiddler on the Roof.
I was.
That's Jews that followed him, not rats.
Okay. Anyways.
But the you know,
Thank you, Jazz.
People there just seem so gravitated towards music, and you tribe up so much faster sometimes than in the States, where it's like, you know, sometimes it seems like you gotta twist people's arms sometimes to go out.
Not there, you know.
Not there, no. It's
Right,
like,
and it's just like, and then they just all this do this on the street. Like, they're not looking for anything. They just want to play music. Like, and it's not like I want to be seen or I want to be heard. Like, I want to make money.
They're just playing to
They're
have
just
fun.
playing to have fun.
yeah.
Now, do you still have relatives over there when you were going back there?
Yeah, I still have my aunts and uncles and all my first cousins, and we go back. On this next record, of Heaven for Heretics, I have a song that's a drawn-out name, but here's to the men that have it all and still want more.
Yeah, well,
And
why don't we?
I sang it all in Danish, and it's a pretty cool tune, you know.
We would really like to hear that.
One?
We would like to hear that, actually.
It wouldn't work on acoustic. I played it on,
Oh,
Okay.
come on.
played it on piano. You know,
So-
sorry.
Oh, she'll get over it. You know what?
I might get over it. No,
email
he
it to
says I'll
Jess.
get over it. I might get over it.
But I've found through all the cultures that I've ever been to, the phrase "I love you," the most beautiful way to say it is Danish.
Yeah, how do you say it in
Really?
Danish?
It's "Jeg elsker dig." It's "Jeg elsker dig." It's
Okay.
it's just
All right.
slides right off your tongue, and you know. And I remember the first time I might have
Again,
said it to
I love
somebody,
watching
you
him
know.
say it because he keeps looking at it. He
Yeah,
says
this
it
is
to her
his
every
wife, and I love it.
So obviously those Danish roots have come across in your music then,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh,
Yep.
apparently we've been talking about
Yeah.
this the whole time.
On the Gravel Church record, I have a song called Hiayet Biaga, which is translated to Heart Builder, and it's a very old school. I would say almost like an Italian kind of vibe, where the guys playing the accordion with the monkey dancing for tips, and it's.
Do you
it's
have a
just-
little monkey?
I don't. I
Oh,
don't.
man.
I have
Well,
a
we'll
Chug.
work on that.
We can help you get
I have a
little
Chug,
monkey.
which is, she's pretty badass.
Yeah?
Half Chihuahua, half
Okay.
pug. She's named Freya after
Freya.
Thor.
That's
Thor's
my
mom.
dog's name.
That's my
Freya.
dog's name too.
Aw.
I have my Freya because she was the first of the gods. She was
Yeah.
the mother of all gods.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you have coming up next music-wise for us?
This is a song called "That Kind of Love." It's actually the single I released off Prince of Poverty, and it's kind of show off a little bit of my Appalachian background.
Okay, beautiful.
You know.
Love to hear that.
You guys ready for it?
We are.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it.
Shotguns and moonshine, you'll take your vows today. Those Appalachian girls know just what to say. And if you cross that line, you reap what you sow. Now that the mountain's your mother, that bitch wants you home. That kind of love can kill a man, they say. That kind of love can make a coward brave. See a silhouette by campfire light. She's what you waited for your whole life. And she'll be damned if your eyes ain't on her. She's got your fantasies down in the dirt. That kind of love can kill a man, they say. That kind of love can make a cow That kind of love can make a coward brave. That kind of love. That kind of love. Thanks. This one's going to be tough because it's not a good translation to acoustic, but I'm going to try. When I took you for my lover, when I took you for my own, I knew that you would occupy my dreams. I didn't think I'd lose my soul. A man gets scared, yes, instincts to run. It's tunnel vision like down the barrel of a gun. If I can close my eyes and make you go away, if I live to see Virginia, I might find my way. If I kill this conversation and I kiss the killer rose, if I leave behind the memories we made, you can leave me eating crow. A man gets scared, yes, instincts to run. It's tunnel vision like down the barrel of a gun. If I can close my eyes and make you go away, if I live to see Virginia, I might find my way. Oh, Lord, yeah. If I live to see Virginia, if I live, if I live, if I live, a man gets scared, yes, instincts to run. It's tunnel vision like down the barrel of a gun. If I can close my eyes, make you go away, if I live to see Virginia, I might find my way. Woke up smelling like firewater, and I think I took one to the chin. I don't need your judgment or comfort for the situation I find myself in. If I stumble, please forgive me, but I'll find my way home. I'm a man with no religion, but I'll find my way home. got no use for your testimony. You can keep your sermons to yourself. Well, I don't look for signs, snakes, or prophets. Well, I anticipate my soul burning in hell. If I stumble, please forgive me, but I'll find my way home. I'm a man with no religion, but I'll find my way home. If I stumble, please forgive me, but I'll find my way home. I'm a man with no religion, but I'll find my way home. Take me home. Take me home. Take me home, hallelujah. Woo. Struggling.
Northeast Alternatives is Massachusetts' most awarded medical and adult use dispensary, located in Fall River, Mass. Now serving adults 21 plus from all states with a valid ID. Visit their shop at 999 William S. Canning Boulevard, Fall River, Mass. Or visit their website at anyalternatives.com to see their full menu. We'd like to tell you about one of our sponsors, Kind Card, the kinder way to shop. Kind Card replaces cash and conventional credit cards anywhere it's accepted. Dispensaries and cannabis-related merchants can join those around the country, and then they receive their U.S.-based checking account. And it only takes a second for you as a merchant to join their Kind Card program right from your point of sale.
Unlike credit cards, which take days to clear, Kind Card funds are deposited directly into your checking account.
Visit kindcard.com to learn more about this revolutionary program and become a consumer or a merchant today.
Solar Therapeutics, America's first energy-independent cannabis cultivation and retail facility based in Somerset, Mass., is the state's premier adult-use marijuana supplier. Unlike any cannabis manufacturing facility in the country, Solar's production architecture is centered around its innovative design that utilizes green infrastructure and microgrid assets to decrease its overall carbon emissions. These green concepts enable Solar to produce sustainable cannabis both by lowering its overall energy profile as well as by generating all of its own clean power.
To learn more about solar or order products online, visit solarthera.com.
Wonderland Smoke Shop carries all of your e-cig, hookah, and tobacco products as well as an assortment of imported and fine cigars. There is also a vast selection of rigs, mods, and glass for the connoisseur. Wonderland is a great smoke shop for all of your needs. With great prices, great service, and family atmosphere. From special orders to new products, their honest and trustworthy staff will exceed all your expectations. Visit Wonderland Smoke Shop in Warwick, Rhode Island at 666 East Ave. Don't forget to follow them on Facebook and tell them 13 Fold sent you.
Lemonadio.
Did you ever hear of anyone smoking dried mushrooms? What? Oh, nothing. Skip it.
Providing relief from dry mouth since 2020.
Tell me who it is, damn it. You got 5 seconds to tell me who the hell this is.
Lemonadio.
Welcome back to 13 Folds, live from the Parlour on Lemonadio.com. Thank you once again to all our sponsors, Northeast Alternatives, Solar Therapeutics, Kind Card, and Wonderland Smoke Shop. Thank you guys for bringing music to the masses and for allowing us to do this for them. Kristian Montgomery, you're killing it tonight, man. We love it.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Once
Seriously,
again,
I'm blown away.
Thank you very much.
and thank you for coming out. I know you had to do a lot of traveling around to get here today, and we
because I was
that.
told that like you were flying in from Florida today, and like.
Well, we flew in early from Florida. Then we were up in Vermont, and then we came back down here.
That's phenomenal. Like, I can't thank you enough for coming to the show.
I appreciate it. If there's anywhere, I can go and play music, I'm just going.
Well, and drinks are on Jess tonight.
They're always on me. Drinks are always on Jess.
So you spoke about it earlier. You did a little stint in prison. Now, it was something having to do, you got arrested fighting for equal rights for fathers. Is that what happened?
What had happened, honestly, in all honesty, I was, before I had children with this particular woman, I was already a father. I'd always had a daughter that, had been my sidekick forever, who, has been the light of my life. And so fatherhood is always, having a dad like myself who's died very young, fatherhood was very important to me. And I fought, and, I was in a really toxic relationship, and it was just awful. And the whole process of getting a divorce is such an adversarial process, and the lawyers pit you against each other. And
yeah.
And it's really
it's a moneymaker for them.
Yeah, it's a big business. I mean, it's money that could be going towards the kids, but it didn't. So I happen to be a type 1 diabetic, so I got to take insulin to stay alive.
Yeah.
And I had asked the judge, listen, I'm paying out the ass here. Could you reduce my money so I could still be a dad, stay alive, and be around? And he said no. He was just very matter of fact. I mean, tiny little Irish guy,
yeah.
Full-blooded, like from the island.
Oh, I've been through the routine.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell the true ones from, their height, because, if you're on an island, you shrink. But the long story short is, he said no, and I just made the mistake one night when my blood sugar was off, I sent him a message because I did what any man's supposed to do. I paid my child support.
Yeah.
Didn't buy my insulin, and I had to be brought back to life at the hospital. And then I sent him a message saying, listen, you're killing me. And it was basically a message begging for my life, and they said it was witness intimidation, and they threw me in jail.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my God.
I was told at parole that if I apologized, when a parole came up, after 3 months, I mean, I only did 6 months. I mean, there's guys out there who did so much more. And, I talked to a lot of dads in there who were kind of in there for the same reason, because it's a big money maker. And, 6 months is,
It's a long time.
I wish I had it back. Don't get me wrong. But, they told me that if I said I was sorry, that, that they'd let me out. And I told them, well, if you could please go back to that judge and tell him he could shove it up his ass, I'd appreciate it. And so I had to do the full amount. So,
well, you stuck to your values, man,
You see, in the United States, you would think that if you stood up to corruption, you would be honored for it.
No, you're not.
No.
You're not.
You're not.
You're not.
So,
You're not. Unfortunately. And I am sorry that's something that you had to go through, because as a mother that also is, I divorced my older husband, my ex-husband and stuff, like, we have a great relationship, and he did everything right, and he also had to do time in jail because he missed a payment and had nothing to do with me, and I wrote every letter that I could to get him out of jail because there was no reason for him to go to jail. And I definitely agree that the United States, it's very corrupt when it comes to fathers that are trying to do their best for their children.
Well, it's like we talk about. It's a money maker.
It is.
And whenever there's money to be made, there's corruption involved, and that's just the bottom line.
Well, I'm some of the politics down south I'm not a huge fan of, but in Kentucky they passed legislation that if you get divorced, mom gets the kids half the time, you get the kids half the time.
And I completely agree with that.
No questions asked. And since then, protective orders, restraining orders, have dropped by 60%.
That's incredible.
And the litigation has dropped by 40%. So it shows a direct correlation that, hey, if you just
work together. Just work together.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was what it was. And, I did my best and I got through it. Wrote an album it's the first time I ever got to like sit down and actually like put pen to paper and write the notes. Like
And
I've
not have
never done that
distractions.
before. Yeah, not have my guitar or piano in front of me. So I had to keep it all up here. It was like my own little Pro Tools thing going on in my head. So it was kind of cool.
So now, while you were in prison, you mentioned the Gravel Church, and that's an album that you did. So tell our audience a little bit about the Gravel Church and what that was.
It was just a metaphor. It was this, it was the yard. I mean, you could walk outside and you could walk around, play basketball, shoot hoops, talk shit, do whatever you wanted to do out there. And for me, it was just a place to clear my head. I mean, there's a lot of drug addicts, a lot of people who had just been thrown in there because.
And that's just here at the Parlour.
No, I think he was talking about it's like a lot of people get thrown into jail because they don't know what to do else to do with them.
I mean, there was one time I had a roommate who was recovering heroin. I should put a shout out. I'm in Rhode Island. There was a kid, was a friend of mine on the block I was in named Chris Nimitz. He was a carpenter, an extraordinarily talented kid. He also played guitar. He got out shortly after me. He was in there because he was a drug addict and couldn't do his parole the way he's supposed to. But Chris called me. He was sleeping behind TF Green Airport in a tent, and 2 weeks later he died of an overdose. So I mean, this was a guy who, nicest guy in the world, would have given you the shirt off his back. Just a good person who got hurt. Got on a pain medication that led to, another pain medication, which led to the needle, and we lost him. And he was a super talented kid, so it sucked.
What was his name again?
Chris Nimitz.
Yeah, let's just.
And it's sad. It's sad the way this country treats drug addiction, and we're starting to get out of that mode, though. We've been making leaps and bounds towards treating it like an illness, because addiction is
an illness. It is an illness that's brought on by the doctors that prescribe them their first fucking.
I had never touched heroin.
Their prescription.
And I'd grown up around people doing heroin and everything, and I never touched it until they prescribed me oxys for my back.
Yeah.
And I was on it for, I guess, about 6 months, longer than that. But it changes you. And a lot of people don't, it was hard to kick. Like, I did it cold turkey, lots of weed and lots of music and time with friends and family. And it took me about 3 weeks doing it. And it's tough for a lot of people to be able to do that.
Because a lot of people don't
the support.
they don't have the support. Right, they don't have the support system.
Or the weed.
And they don't know, they don't have the love for music that a lot of us do.
The biggest cause of death in the trades right now,
It's heroin.
carpentry, plumbing, is overdose.
Yeah. Because they they break a finger or sprain their back, and their doctors are right there to prescribe them 80 milligrams of OxyContins.
Mm-hmm. And the sad thing too is that the way we treat our laborers here in the States is awful. These are guys that should be retiring at 50 because they've done their time. They've broken their bodies for these really wealthy bastards, and never got the piece of the pie that they probably should have.
No.
So you said the second album is coming out, which is Prince of Poverty, right?
Yeah, Prince of Poverty came out on March 4th.
All right, so that came out, and then you're working on your third album now. Now, what's that album going to be called?
It's called A Heaven for Heretics.
Okay, so when do you think we're going to hear that one? When's that coming out?
Hopefully by the end of the summer.
All right. Well, you know what? If you finish it and you want to do a release party, hit us up, and we'll figure out a way to make it happen, man.
Do you have a Taylor guitar?
I do.
Okay.
It's also the name of my oldest daughter. I don't know.
I love it.
Felt right.
Now, what's the difference between when you look at where you started with Gravel Church was the first one?
Yeah.
How do the albums differ? Coming out from with the second one you did, and then coming out with this new one.
Well, the first one was just such a I gotta do this. It was there was this drive in me of after getting out of jail, I wanted to do something positive. I wanted to show my kids that no matter what happens to you, you can overcome it, and you can create something so beautiful that people would say, "Where were you? You were
in my darkest time."
Yeah, you were in this terribly dark place, and you just exploded into a ball of light. And after we released the Gravel Church and we got the response, I remember sitting at home and getting an email from the Houston Music Review, and it was this like 5-star review, and I was like, "Wow, man, that's really, really cool." And then all of a sudden another bing from Real Roots Cafe in the Netherlands, and then it was Americana Music Magazine saying, "Hey, we got your music and we'd really like to interview you." And then Nashville Country Music and Music Row News and all these people hit me up, and I was like, "Wow, all right, so you guys are digging this music. That's cool."
And now look, you're slumming it with us.
But
But no, thank you for slumming it with us.
No problem. But Prince of Poverty was like, okay, shit, people like this, and I've always been a pretty prolific writer. I'm surprised.
No, your songs are amazing. They really are.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna blush.
Blush.
These next 10 songs on Heaven for Heretics is probably taken out of like 50 acoustic songs I put up on YouTube and stuff, and showed my producer and said, "Hey, what do you think of all these?" We picked the best 10. And I just keep writing, and it's Boston radio's taken off with it. Between Boston Emissions and Bay State Rock and all these local rock shows, and then Country 102.7, I was their Artist of the Week, and all of a sudden it's like, I'm getting written all the great reviews. And Boston's never been kind to me. I remember
Boston's not kind to anyone. Dude.
Yeah, it's if you're not like a trust fund baby in a punk band, you're probably not getting good reviews. But if you come from the same culture, then you're gonna get written up as the next big thing. As you're writing about your troubles deciding what color underwear to wear, and you couldn't finish all your pancakes for breakfast, and whatever they come up with.
I could totally eat all pancakes. I could eat so many pancakes.
I have I got a great new song I wrote called "If I Had Your Trust Fund."
Blueberries, my favorite.
I had put that up on YouTube, and it mentions Evan Dando from the Lemonheads.
Yes.
Yes.
I gave him a wedgie at Clark University. And I was a dick back then, but
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
we were all dicks way back in the day.
There's just so much money in Boston.
You're still a dick. You're still a dick.
Competing with their kind of capital is not always easy. So, but somehow this year I've managed to kind of break through it, and and it's people are asking for more.
Well,
so.
I have to say that I'm really happy that your manager reached out to me and sent me 3 of your songs to listen to, and asked me if I wanted to put you on the show, and I'm really happy.
It's a blessing,
I said yes.
Yeah. Do you guys have any shows coming up? Playing out?
Not. This is kind of it for. We just were down in Florida playing in Vermont, and.
So for Rhode Island, so if I was to say, hey, I might have a date.
I could totally do it.
Yeah. What about the other guys in the band? Is the rest of the band
just
ready
gotta,
to start playing out yet?
I just gotta ask him.
Not that I'm saying that I would love to have you by yourself, but I would love to see you with a band. I really would love to see you rock out with a band.
Yeah, we could totally put something together.
We're gonna talk. Well, I'm gonna talk to your manager, but we're gonna talk.
Awesome.
We're gonna talk, definitely.
So one last time before we go, because we're running out of time.
We are.
And tell everybody listening where they can find your music.
Do you have Bandcamp, Spotify, all that stuff?
Yeah, we are on every streaming platform. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Spotify,
Bandcamp.
iTunes, Deezer, all of those great places. We go through CD Baby to do all of our distribution.
All right.
And they put us up on all the different platforms. But, Bandcamp, if you go to my personal website, which is the www.kmwkb.com.
Okay.
We got T-shirts and CDs and
Fantastic.
all sorts of the.
Yeah, we're
stuff.
definitely going to talk after this.
So, Kristian, thanks for coming on tonight. We really appreciate it. We're going to let you do another 3 songs. Then we're going to come back with some sponsors. And
but you're all done after the 3 songs.
You know what? If you want to stick around and play a
and
little,
just hang with
and
us.
play another song after we go out, for the people that actually took the time out to like watch on YouTube, you feel free to, because I know
Yeah.
sometimes you guys get in the vibe and you're like, you know what,
We're
I
all
don't
done.
want to quit
I don't wanna do
smoking.
this anymore.
So if you want to hang out and we can play one more, but before that, guys, one last time, Kristian Montgomery. Coming at you, 13 Folds live from the Parlour, live from Lemonadio.com.
It's really been great to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
So great to talk to you.
Well, this song, I just wanted to. My younger brother Kurt is battling. He's battling cancer.
And I'm so sorry to hear about that. I did talk to your manager.
It's
about
bad. They
that.
told him 6 months and a year with treatment. So he said, "I'll do the treatment." And so he's down there struggling with this. And I wrote this song. My brother and I were out last year. If you remember the tropical storm that came in. My brother had come up from Florida, and we're freaking crazy Vikings. So we took my boat and went out of the Chatham Cut, the breakers, which
Yeah,
you
I know
hear
where
about
Chatham is.
In
Yeah,
the perfect, in the that movie where the boat broke, and but we were out there
that
crazy.
inlet out there used to be huge in Chatham, and it's just dissolved.
Well, there's a
over
bunch of different cuts now that are really
it's-
twice as dangerous, and you probably shouldn't go. But my brother and I made it out there, and I wrote this song about reconnecting with him out there, and mentioned the Indian Head River, which is a river that we grew up fishing for shad off, and so. But here it is. I remember my grandfather's hands, cracked and wrinkled like the riverbed. We sailed the ocean and we worked the land. We went shad fishing down the Indian Head. Lord, I miss those days that passed. There's a fish on every cast, a set of antlers on the wall, whitetail hunting when the leaves fall. Some things can't be replaced. We'll both die someday. And it should be a disgrace if all we leave behind's a warm grave. There's an illness upon us all, like we put aside a father's call.
kill our brothers, spill their blood. It's like we're asking for another flood. Some things can't be replaced. We'll both die someday. And it would be a disgrace if all we leave behind a warm grave. We should meet down by the river, but the Baptist said it can't do much. He can't pull the sin from the sinner, and you'll never know the good Lord's touch. We should meet down by the water, but the Baptist said he can't do much. He can't pull sin from the sinner, and you'll never know the good Lord's touch. Some things can't be replaced. We'll both die someday. And it would be a damn shame if all we leave behind a warm grave, a warm grave. Thanks. Woohoo! Well, I've been put upon and ratted on and dragged through mud. I picked up some shifts and took some lip and carried on. I've been denied pacing on my way and kept my pride. I stumbled out of bars, slept in cars and under the sky. See these working hands, you better run. These working hands reaching for a gun. Licensed CEOs with rapidos in every way, while their wives at home all alone just dreaming of me. Life service cherry bombs and crazy blondes and mail order brides. I guess there's still some things this money just can't buy. See these working hands, you better run. These working hands know how it's done. See these working hands, you better run. These working hands know how it's done. See these working hands, you better run. These working hands reaching for the sun.
This is called Boston. I wrote this song after the marathon bombing, but I didn't want to release it or record it because I just thought it was going to be opportunistic. Yeah. And a couple of other people had written stuff, but this was really just a song about the city that I kind of grew up in. And
well, I grew up on the radio, with dreams of being Billy Joel. Yeah, people come from far and near just to hear me sing in Harvard Square. I'm still singing. Well, she took me in and made me hers. She wrapped her arms around my old guitar, and I played it till my fingers bled. And I woke up next to her again. Well, I know it won't be long. Soon as Boston calls, I'm hers. Well, people say we talk a lot about the cars and where to park. Oh, how the old boys hung around to take the evil empire down. Well, I know it won't be long. Soon as Boston calls, I'm hers. Well, I know it won't be long. Soon as Boston calls, I'm hers.
Northeast Alternatives is Massachusetts' most awarded medical and adult use dispensary, located in Fall River, Mass. Now serving adults 21 plus from all states with a valid ID. Visit their shop at 999 William S. Canning Boulevard, Fall River, Mass. Or visit their website at anyalternatives.com to see their full menu. We'd like to tell you about one of our sponsors, Kind Card, the kinder way to shop. Kind Card replaces cash and conventional credit cards anywhere it's accepted. Dispensaries and cannabis-related merchants can join those around the country, and then they receive their U.S.-based checking account. And it only takes a second for you as a merchant to join their Kind Card program right from your point of sale.
Unlike credit cards, which take days to clear, Kind Card funds are deposited directly into your checking account.
Visit kindcard.com to learn more about this revolutionary program and become a consumer or a merchant today.
Solar Therapeutics, America's first energy-independent cannabis cultivation and retail facility based in Somerset, Mass., is the state's premier adult-use marijuana supplier. Unlike any cannabis manufacturing facility in the country, Solar's production architecture is centered around its innovative design that utilizes green infrastructure and microgrid assets to decrease its overall carbon emissions. These green concepts enable Solar to produce sustainable cannabis both by lowering its overall energy profile as well as by generating all of its own clean power.
To learn more about solar or order products online, visit solarthera.com.
Wonderland Smoke Shop carries all of your e-cig, hookah, and tobacco products, as well as an assortment of imported and fine cigars. There is also a vast selection of rigs, mods, and glass for the connoisseur in you. Wonderland is a great smoke shop for all of your needs. With great prices, great service, and family atmosphere. From special orders to new products, their honest and trustworthy staff will exceed all your expectations. Visit Wonderland Smoke Shop in Warwick, Rhode Island at 666 East Ave. Don't forget to follow them on Facebook and tell them 13 Fold sent you.
Lemonadio.
Did you ever hear of anyone smoking dried mushrooms? What? Nothing. Skip it.
Providing relief from dry mouth since 2020.
Tell me who it is, damn it. You got 5 seconds to tell me who the hell this is.
Lemonadio.
What? Wait a minute.
Oh. Here we go. Welcome back to 13 Folds Live. I'll say it for you. My mic's working.
Live at the Parlour on Lemonadio.com. Thank you, Kristian Montgomery, for joining us tonight. It was an awesome show. Loved the storytelling part of it. What an awesome, just his life.
Everything was awesome about that. You know, just listening to his music, listening to his stories.
I like the part where we laughed and smiled a lot.
We did. We did laugh and smile a lot, didn't we?
Be sure to check out their website, kmwkb.com. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And you can also hear their music on Spotify or anywhere else you can stream live music. He's out there. He's doing things, making it happen.
He's killing it.
So, yeah, look up Kristian Montgomery
in the Winterkill Band.
Once again, thank you to all our sponsors, Solar Therapeutics, Kind Card, Wonderland Smoke Shop, and especially our premier sponsor, Northeast Alternatives. Thank you guys for bringing 13 Folds live to the public. We will see you guys next week, live from the Parlour, where we're going to be joined from Toad and the Stooligans.
Toad and the Stooligans, yeah.
Nice.
They're going to be on the show. They're ready.
Well,
they're really ready.
I got the name right this time.
You did.
So let's hope for the best
praying
next
to God,
Tuesday.
because I won't be here. So I'm praying to God you get the name right.
All right, so guys, until then, smoke them if you got them.
And if you don't, I don't know what to tell you.
All right, and thank you for listening. 13 Folds live from the Parlour on Lemonadio.com.
Have a good night.
We're out.